Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cape Time. I am low on energy. Spent 3.5 hours trying to get No Way Home tickets, and now I am here to fucking review The Amazing Spider-Man 2 the morning after all that bullshit. So, as you can imagine, my mood is just peachy. Oh, man. Tom, how are you doing?
I'm well. It was last night was quite a night, let's be honest. It was took took a while, let's just say that. It took me full hour to get tickets. It took you even longer. Uh, you know, I think I think
God.
opening this one up, we should just tell the story, tell our individual stories of how we
Yeah,
got tickets.
sure.
Like
I mean,
because
I don't even know where to fucking start because,
we
like,
gotta
I
start.
was.
We gotta start with you because you were having a mental breakdown in the group chat,
Dude, I was
and
dying. Like, I was so fucking pissed because at first
yeah,
I got to my computer like 11:30 ish. I was getting my shit set up. I had my desktop set up for the tickets. I had my laptop next to me set up for tickets, and I had my fucking phone set up for tickets. So I was like ready to get tickets from all possible angles. I was ready. And we get to 11:40, and I see someone on Discord say, I just bought tickets to fucking a ticket that's to a place that's in Jersey, and I'm like, wait, what? It's 11:40. So I fucking jump on. I'm like, fuck, 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 and as soon as I get on there, I already see like 20 tickets sold. I'm like, oh shit, and
so
then
I started selling them early.
yeah, they started selling them like 20 minutes early, and I was like fucking freaking out, and I get it, and I keep clicking on the ticket because there wasn't even a line yet because probably people didn't even realize that they were available yet, really.
Hmm.
So I keep selecting the ticket to go to the fucking checkout, and I can't even get past checkout because I guess it kind of started already. And I tried at least like 10 plus times, and then after that time, the line fucking started, and I was like, no. And it said like an hour wait, and I was just like so pissed. And I tell you, I set up lines on three different again devices, and every
Same
time
here.
and every time I got to the end of a line and I went to buy the ticket, I couldn't get through. It just crashed every time, and it was literally like that for a good 3 hours. I tried AMC, I tried Fandango, I tried Flickster, which is a affiliate of Fandango, which wasn't even working at first.
I
And
tried
now
everything,
I know, and
everything.
now fucking at the very end around three ish, 3:05, after starting at 11:40, basically, Flickster finally went through, and at first I bought tickets that were regular non IMAX for like 50, 60 bucks. And then after that I saw my other fucking on my other device the IMAX tickets went through. I was like, oh no. So
Did you lose money? Like,
no,
for like the?
I got a refund. I didn't get the money back yet, but I put in for a refund on the other ones. And then I bought those. So
That's funny.
I got the IMAX tickets for 7 o'clock on Friday night. I couldn't do Thursday because my best friends weren't available that night, but I don't even care anymore. I'm just happy I was even able to get fucking
Oh, so
Friday.
you're not going the first day. You're going the
Yeah,
second day.
I had to. I probably could have even got Thursday if I really wanted to, but they couldn't go, and I wanted to make sure the first time I see it was with them. So like, I am just at a loss for words for that experience. I'm a broken fucking man right now, man. I am a broken man.
That
It's
is
it's wild.
that is an experience that I won't ever forget. So like my story is like I was on the app at like 12 o'clock, and I was on it, like I was actually in there, and I had Spider-Man No Way Home, and I'm like, how do I refresh this? I was like, I was dumb, so I closed the app, and I thought, all right, I'll close the app, I'll open it back up when it hits 12:01, then I'll go get the tickets, but by the time 12:01 hit, the
Oh yeah,
app crashed,
of
and
course.
I was like, I probably should have just stayed in there. But uh, it was uh, it was one of those things where I was very persistent. I went I did the same thing that you did. I went on like Flickster, Rotten Tomatoes, all the sites that sell tickets. And I'm like, well, get me the Spider-Man. Where are the Spider-Man tickets in it? It just never loaded. But like, I went back to the app like just as I was like kind of about to give up, and I go back to the app, and it it was it worked, but what was happening was it worked, but you had to refresh like 10 times. Like
Yeah.
you had to keep refreshing, keep refreshing, keep refreshing.
At
So
first, I
like
thought that was gonna work for me, but it never did.
yeah, so I just had to keep refreshing, keep refreshing. So like the first step is clicking the showtime, and that
Yeah.
took 10 minutes. The
Yeah.
second thing was picking the seats because we do reserved seats at my theater,
Yep.
and that took a while. That took like 10 minutes as well. Then you had to put your card in and pay for the tickets. That took a while, and then I hit confirm purchase, right? And it crashed on me, and I had a heart
Oh
attack.
my God.
I was like, uh, uh. So I'm like, okay, maybe it went through. Maybe they sent me a confirmation email with the code. I go to my email, and thankfully, the email was there, and yeah, I got my Spider-Man tickets. So very happy about that.
I really can't even believe how that was worse than Endgame by a lot.
That
Like
was incredibly difficult.
that
Like
was that was so bad.
that was so hard. I was really I was ready to give up, man. I was like, oh God. But three
I
o'clock, 3 o'clock on Thursday, the very first showing is the one I'm going to. So
like I'll be honest, I'm probably
IMAX too.
like I am probably disgusting right now. I didn't get to shower last night like I wanted. I didn't fucking change my shirt. I was doing that shit for 3.5 hours and I knocked out right away and I'd been up for a good
Yeah, I
30,
was
30 minutes. So I gotta clean up as soon as we're done here, man. I'm a mess.
yeah, I had to go to the doctor's this morning, which is funny because I had a checkup, and I was like, I was actually kind of happy that they dropped the tickets at midnight because like I was really afraid that they would release the tickets when I was in the doctor's office and I wouldn't have
Yeah,
been
yeah.
able to get the tickets. So, but you know, it was chaos, and it was kind of a fun experience to be a part of on like Twitter because everyone
Yeah.
was experiencing the same thing, and it was like, yeah, we all feel each other's pain right now, but we got the tickets, everything worked out well. $40. I'm going in IMAX. You know, I work there, ironically, but I had to
Yes.
pay. So I'm happy. And yeah, so that's our Spider-Man No Way Home ticket stories. We will remember that for a while for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, well, we're both out of $40.
More than 40. Well, I mean, I'm gonna get my money back, but I had to
Yeah.
fucking spend like right now I'm out technically, even though I'll get most of it back, 190 because
Wait,
it
how many friends do you have?
no, because it was me plus four friends for the one, and then
Oh shit.
the one I haven't got the refund on yet. So
Oh
like
man.
together it's 190. So my bank account's
Oh
fucking
man.
shot.
Yeah. Yeah, I only bought 2 tickets because usually I just go with like a friend or my dad. So I'm like, I'll just buy two. So I bought my 2 tickets. I'm happy. There we go. So yeah,
Well,
and now we
I
have to talk about a
guess.
shitty Spider-Man movie.
Ah, all right. I gotta get into this. I gotta pretend I. No, I'm not gonna pretend I like this
We did
movie. That's
that
a
to
lie. I hate
stall,
this
by
movie.
the way. We did that for stall
Oh,
purposes to not
obviously.
to avoid talking about this. But yeah,
All right,
this
so let's get into this. This movie sucks. this movie,
it's not good.
this
Not
movie's
good.
not good. But I am going to get into the few positives that are in this movie because we're a positive podcast here. We're positive people. All right, we gotta spread the positivity for Spidey. So let's fucking do it. All right.
Well, the poster is pretty cool.
Yes, the poster is cool. That's a positive. Another positive, the suit is fucking awesome. Like
I
we
agree.
can agree there. Like the suit
Agree.
is beautiful. I love it, and it is without a doubt one of the better Spider-Man suits we've gotten in live action. I think it's gorgeous and really I can't complain. But as for the other character designs, well, that's let's just say they didn't hit as well as they did on Spidey. They did not.
I have to talk about this now.
Yeah, just let it out. Let it
I
out.
just want you to know I heard everything you said. Like
Yeah, I know you
that
did.
was that was a dramatic pause, and
Yeah,
now here we go. Uh, okay, okay. I'm gonna start with Goblin. I'm gonna start with the
yeah,
Goblin design
yeah.
because he looks like a little troll.
Yeah.
There's nothing goblin-ish about it. And like it's kind of funny that like I would think like no, I mean like I would kind of think that this version of Goblin would wear a suit, like have that suit and mask kind of vibe that the Raimi trilogy did. And instead they kind of tried to do a cross of like Ultimate and and the traditional suit. Like in the Ultimate comics, he's like a giant green monster. It's basically like Hulk that shoots fire out of himself. It's a
Um.
crazy design, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it kind of felt like a mix of both, but when you mix both, it doesn't work. And this didn't work. It was a shitty design. I don't like it at all. The Electro design, I don't necessarily hate the Electro design, but
I
I like the new one better.
I don't mind them doing something different personally. I was okay with that. Of all the designs, that's certainly the best of those three villains. But yeah, I definitely would have preferred what we have now, I think.
Yeah, his new design is
Yeah.
cool.
Especially because it's not. I heard a couple people complain like it looks a little too basic, but like the thing is, you can see the cool thing is when he uses his powers, you could see like in the brief
You
moments in
see
between,
it.
his
Yeah, you
body
could.
becomes electricity,
It's
and like
so
he has
cool.
the mask around his face with the lightning, which is so cool. I think
It's
that's
like
a sick.
it does the comic suit, but it doesn't make it ridiculous. It's almost
Yeah.
like in a way that the Spider-Man PS4 game did it, really. Uh, you know, that design. That's a really cool design, and I think they really did take inspiration from that. So yeah, I mean, No Way Home's Electro design is better, and I I I I don't know. Like I've heard that they don't even like mention in No Way Home. They don't mention the blue much
No,
because I don't think Jamie Foxx liked the blue.
I
I
would
think
personally. I'm gonna hope that they at least explain why he's not blue. For me, that's important. That's very. Like, you can make a bullshit reason. I don't care.
I
Just
just
have
say his
just
death
yeah.
knocked the blue out of him or some
That's what I'm
shit.
saying. Like, just have a reason. If it sucks, I
Uh,
don't care because I get it. You just
don't
wanted to
care.
change the design. That's fine. Just give a
Yeah,
reason. Don't pretend
it's
like it didn't happen though, because it did. It did.
it's a clear. This design sucked. We're not doing that, and we're gonna find a way to change that immediately. Uh, I don't think Feige liked it. I don't think Watts liked it. I don't think Fox liked it. They're all they're all like, yeah, we're not doing that. So Mark Webb was a consultant on Spider-Man: No Way Home, so I think he also might have had a say in that. It's like, yeah, Sony made me do that. Yeah, just figure it out. But yeah, and then the Rhino design. I don't like the Rhino design. I don't hate the Rhino design. I know they did the Ultimate version where it's just a dude in a mech suit, which is fine. I like the Ultimate comics and the video game, so that's fine. But my problem with Rhino is A, he serves no purpose here, and B, Paul Giamatti is like so far out of like it's like out of his like the world established in Amazing Spider-Man 1. Paul Giamatti's
Oh yeah.
Rhino does not fit in that
It's
one.
it's a totally different world, and it's so weird. Like it's the same director. It's just I feel like he listened too much to the criticisms of Amazing
Bro,
Spider-Man
the
One.
studio listened
No,
too much
I think
and
it's
then
both.
told them
I think it was a bit
I
of
think
both, but I don't
I
know. I honestly don't know, but either way, someone listened too much to the criticisms, and they said, you know what? We need to entirely change the aesthetic of this movie. And to be clear, like
basically like go back to what Toby and Sam were doing, the comic book kind
it's
of thing.
I don't even mind that. But if you're gonna do that, do it well,
Yeah,
because
just be
they
consistent.
they didn't even do it well, which is bad. I mean, the story is so convoluted. I mean, there's so many different
Wait, there's a story.
issues. Yeah, there's like 20 stories. Like,
It's I sent
there's
it. You saw my tweet earlier. Like I think I sent that out yesterday. It's not a coherent movie, and therefore it has to be
dude, like
last.
they cut MJ out of the movie.
Uh,
She had an entire arc and role in the movie. Like, what the fuck? I don't even know. Like, Like she had no place in this movie. Like the fact that this movie could have probably been another 30 plus minutes longer is startling. And it's not like a case where it fleshes out the movie. No, it's a case where it would have added even more loose plot threads that would have accomplished nothing,
Well,
which is
let's do some
crazy.
Spider-Man math here.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
let's count the plot lines.
Yeah.
Peter and Gwen's relationship.
McCarthy's got.
Wow.
Kobe.
Um.
What the fuck? All right, Peter and Gwen, right?
Yeah.
Peter's parents, right?
Uh-huh.
Sinister Six setup.
Okay.
Electro.
Of course, yours are just signed.
Yep.
Anyway, keep going.
No, it doesn't. Get the fuck out. Right. And what? Now I've lost the train of thought. Go. Now
Start from the top.
Remember?
Start from the top.
Sinister Six. Peter's parents.
Yeah.
Peter and Gwen. Electro. Harry Osborn's Dying Blood.
Goblin.
Thank you. He knows. The man knows. I think that's it. No.
No, wait, dude.
Corporate takeover.
Dude, you're not even remembering the entire arc with finding his dad, and the fucking.
I kind of lumped that in with.
Okay.
Peter's parents.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, the entire. I have a question. What did you think about the entire underground subway fucking little coin that unlocks the fucking gateway to Narnia shit? I got it. Like, how did you think that was cool? Did you think it sucked? I mean, I hope you think it sucked, because I know I thought it sucked, but like,
it is the single biggest slap in the face to the Spider-Man franchise in the history of Spider-Man movies.
Good. I'm glad we're on the same page.
On a level of misinterpreting what Spider-Man is, it is worse than the drone strike of Far From Home. Just because you took Peter Parker, right, and you turned him into someone of destiny. He was destined to be bitten in a way. Like, only he could have been bitten and gotten the powers.
Yeah.
As opposed to, in the comic books, it's an accident. It's a complete accident.
Well, that's the whole thing. He's an ordinary guy, and this could happen to anybody. But in this movie, they essentially say, no, Peter is not an ordinary guy. And that takes away all the magic of the character of Peter Parker.
It basically said that his dad was basically like a super scientist, and he turned his kid into Spider-Man.
Like, that is the dumbest shit.
It's just too much.
I don't get where Sony's heads were at. I don't understand this movie. I mean, like, there's only, even like the good qualities of this movie. Like, if we move to like not MJ, fucking Gwen and Peter, even their relationship, dude, like, their chemistry is good, but their relationship kind of sucked. Like, they're just on and off for absolutely no reason throughout the entire movie, and it's so out of character. Like, it's so weird.
Bang or don't.
Like,
bang or don't.
Like, they had to go on and off like 4 or 5 times in that. Like, it was bizarre. It made no sense. I just don't get any of that. And what else was good about this movie? Like, I'm trying to fucking think. I mean, the score was good. The score was great.
The stuff that we liked is mainly like carryover stuff from the first film.
It's carryover stuff, and it's aesthetic stuff, as in like cinematography. The score was great, like that kind of stuff. That was all great.
Yeah. So people on Twitter like to put this movie higher than it should be because it's got some pretty shots.
Yeah, dude. I don't get comic book Twitter sometimes. Fucking, oh, this movie has beautiful shots, so that means it's a top 3 Spider-Man.
Yeah,
no, it's not. It's not.
I've seen many movies that look really cool that aren't.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but no.
Like, I think, for example, Spider-Man 3 looks really cool. I think it's got some really cool shots in it.
But that movie is a lot better than this dog shit, though.
I would agree there.
Let's not pretend it's not.
More, even though, like, it is messy, it's more of a complete
It's a complete story, and they had too many plot threads, but like
By the
the
end of
plot.
that movie, there weren't any plot threads left.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Like, there's actually stuff. There's a sense of finality in that
Yeah.
movie, and also in
Like,
addition to that, there's actually a central theme and lesson
here's the thing.
that
Here's the thing.
resonates in that movie.
Here's the thing. Spider-Man 3 answers questions that it asks.
Yes.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 sets up questions to be asked in future installments, so it basically feels like a trailer to a movie that we didn't get, and also it fails to tell its own story, and the story that it's trying to tell isn't really that compelling because Electro
Yeah.
is a ridiculous character in this film, and
Mhm.
fucking Rhino is like from a cartoon. The Green Goblin looks like shit. He's got dying blood. And it's like we don't know who.
Yeah,
this
wait,
one-
what
we
the
don't-
fuck was that whole thread? Like,
And
that
also,
was.
by the way, like you think we would have gotten a mention that Peter and Harry were like friends during their
Yeah.
childhood that like we never got. We never.
I couldn't have cared
Yeah.
less about their relationship. Like, they don't even go into it at all. Like, why didn't you like give even some flashbacks or something? Like anything to make me a little more attached to their friendship, because there's literally zero reason to even care about the relationship between Harry and Peter. There's literally they give you nothing. I just don't get it. And like Harry is just an asshole, and like his father's obviously an asshole too. But like,
And also, the blood plot doesn't make sense because Norman lives long.
yeah,
Norman lives a long life. You have to basically say, right? And they failed to do this in the movie. They failed to include a line that says this: that your condition is rapidly worsening more so than mine ever did, which means you have less time than I do. Something along those lines would have made that more palpable, more realistic, I guess you could say.
yeah.
But like they never said that. So basically it's like what we're led to believe with the information that we were told is that Harry Osborn could live another 30, 40 years. Am I wrong?
No, you are absolutely right, and like it makes no sense that they would do that. I mean, you just have a tiny explanation, like you said. Like you don't need much. I just
Like
there's
as
this-
Norman's dying in the bed, you just say, "Bro,
Yeah.
I passed this on to you, but it gets worse over time." Yada yada. I mean, it gets worse when it gets transferred to the next generation, and it happens. It's going to happen faster for you. This deterioration that I'm experiencing is going to happen when you turn 25.
Yeah.
Or instead of when I'm 60, something like that. And it's like, then hey, there you go. But they didn't do that. So
I mean, what else is good? I'm trying to think. I mean,
I just took my earbuds. Oh.
Another positive for this movie, I will say, is I like the good vibes, friendly neighborhood nature that it has in a lot of places. Like where Spider-Man's like helping the firefighters with Electro, and he like has the hat on and like some of that kind of stuff. I like that nature of it. Like he really owns the role, and it feels like that's Spider-Man, and it's like comic booky, but in a fun way. Like I like that side of it.
I have good news. My request for a day off on December 16th has been approved.
There you go.
I can go see Spider-Man. So
There you go.
Just wanted to say that. But which character were you talking about? That.
Well, Spidey.
Oh yeah, he does. Like, in the suit, like even. Here's the thing. He's really cool in that Times Square sequence where he's
that's awesome.
Saving people when he catches the cop car. He goes, "Thank God you're not thank God you're not one of those cops that rides a horse." Something like that. Like that's funny. Like that's good.
Yeah.
But the only problem is like the first scene is very much like the knife scene in Amazing Spider-Man 1 where it's very clearly forced humor when like Spider-Man's like, you need to stop this plutonium filled truck while it's crashing into buildings. Crashing into cars and killing people because like people died during that little.
It makes that made no sense, that entire opening. Like he literally just let so many people probably die, and like
he's just sitting there in the wind, like sitting on the truck while telling jokes, and he's like the movie. It's almost like a kind of a problem that the MCU can have sometimes is when the momentum of something stops for jokes.
Yeah.
And that happens in that scene. But I don't feel like it happened throughout the movie after that, but like it's enough to where it's like you really should not have done that. Because it goes against like superheroism when like the superheroes letting people die. I mean, It's usually not what a superhero does, I would assume. I think superheroes are like supposed to save people, supposed to
Ideally, yeah.
limit the loss of life as much as possible, which would be really cool. And Spider-Man did not do that in that scene. And Spider-Man's like one of those characters that like will always, always, always,
Yeah.
always try to save lives. He didn't do that there. Goes against Spider-Man, but he's funny. I will say
Yeah.
that.
I mean, yeah, he's funny, and that's one of the good things about this Peter Parker. But again, obviously, there's some parts where they overdid it. But
Yeah,
and I
that's a case of overdoing it.
and this is a case too where in this movie, you had some really, like you said, there's some great moments. It's kind of like in Spider-Man 3 where you have some great moments. But I will say in that movie though, the moments aren't ruined by other moments, because in this movie I feel like a lot of the great moments become ruined by other things around the movie. While
I
in
would
that
agree.
case, in that movie, it's not for me. In the case of like this movie, for example, this ain't a moment that got ruined necessarily, but like let's say we go to Gwen's death. Amazing scene, obviously. Andrew's performance is awesome. The way they did it, beautiful.
Mm.
Do I like the fact that they got over it in like 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the movie and he moved on? No, I would have personally made that a much bigger part of the movie, quite honestly. I would have cut out some of the bullshit you had in this movie and actually given time to that arc and have that be a real mental struggle for him at the end. Like really dive deep into the depression of it, because like
Here's the thing.
that's a big thing. Like it's
Well,
huge.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Come close to the camera now.
Yeah.
Harry should not have become Green Goblin in this movie.
No, he should not have.
Therefore, Gwen shouldn't have died in this movie.
Well, that too. That's a whole other issue.
The
But yeah,
deterioration of that friendship should have been built up in this movie, then destroyed at the end of it, then in the third film, then you kill her.
yeah. No, you're right. I mean, you could have said this whole movie just be about the blood plot, except he has more time to live than he did now, even if you really want to stick to that. And like say, he will live beyond this movie, but his time will be running out soon enough. I'm trying to get this from Spidey, but no one's helping me. And have that be his arc during the movie. The next movie, he goes to more desperate measures to get there, and he does get there.
It's like if this movie just had. Oh, I just kicked my table. If this movie just had the slightest amount of more thought to it,
Yeah,
it could have been so much better. Because there are a lot of really cool elements in here. The cast is all great. All right, fix the costumes though, please. Thank you. Except Spider-Man's, obviously. Just a little more thought. Don't have Spider-Man allowing people to die. Flesh out Harry Osborn more. Cut some of the unnecessary story. Oh, okay, so they cut Mary Jane's storyline, but they won't cut any of the other 5 storylines.
yeah.
Jesus,
I mean,
Christmas.
I'm not gonna lie, the MJ storyline actually sounded kind of good. It just had no place. It just had no place in this movie, given everything else. It actually sounded kind of decent. But
I don't know much about it, but
essentially, it was gonna go in. It was really gonna go into how she.
Yeah,
becomes,
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember now.
It goes into the abuse with her father, and
I
like
saw
Peter,
concept art.
yes, the concept art looked kind of dope. Like he fucking confronts the dad. I think what was it like something along those lines. It was fucking. It could have been dark. It could have been good, but either way, it had no place in the movie because they had so many other stories. So like, who cares?
I think you could have done something really cool with Electro, Harry, and MJ in this movie that all deals with like types of abuse. Like, because like Norman's obviously like a dick to Harry historically,
Yes.
and then the world is a dick to Electro, and then obviously her dad's a dick to MJ. So you could have done something thematically there that fit, while also you're still doing Electro and Green Goblin. You're setting up the Sinister Six without shoehorning characters in, and
Yeah.
it's also telling a cohesive story. Hey, you introduced Lizard in the first film, right? Then you introduced Electro and Green Goblin in this movie. Hey, if you could probably add in like another one more character here somewhere if you want. And then hey, you got 4 out of the 6. And then you just do Amazing Spider-Man 3. you throw two villains in there, do something that thematically fits there.
Yeah.
Sinister Six. There you go. Enjoy.
There you go. You could have done something along those lines. There's a lot of things you could have done that was not this. I mean, they just forced it so hard. I mean, it was just it's just like in a fucking, even though like some people don't mind this, like that part of Batman v Superman where they're trying so hard to force what will be a Justice League movie, and then they go into the horrible cut of Justice League, of course, and they shoehorn in the characters way too quick. It's like that, except Sinister Six, and done even worse. Like that's how I feel about it, quite honestly. It just wasn't good. I mean, are there even any other positives to get into? Like, if there are,
It's all like you said earlier. It's all aesthetical. It's
yeah,
all
like it's.
like the CGI is great, right? The swinging is really great,
And
right?
like I love the last scene where he like of course confronts the Rhino and with the little boy. That's cool. And
That's cool. That's cool
like
stuff.
that's a great scene. And the other scene with the little boy was awesome too. That was magic.
I
That
need
scene.
more of that.
More of that. Yeah, more of that.
I got that in Homecoming when he's helping out the people in the opening montage, right? In Spider-Man Homecoming.
That was cool.
But
Yeah.
but I want even more of that where he becomes more inspiring in a way.
Well,
Like
you know what? We have a whole trilogy coming up for that, which we're going to talk about in another episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get like after No Way Home, I think it would be really cool to do shit like that where you
Yeah.
go from the highest of stakes
Yep.
down to street level kind of Spider-Man.
I would
Yeah.
have Kingpin be in the next movie, honestly.
I would love that.
Although I will say though, it seems like they're going with. I mean, it's already out there, so I don't care. Like, spoiler alert. All right, I'm sorry, but if you want to miss this, skip ahead 2 minutes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, yeah. So they're gonna set up the symbiote in No Way Home, and that's clearly gonna be the focus of the next movie. And with that in mind, honestly, I do think it should be a very psychological, emotional movie. And if you want to do and have a villain at the heart of it, I'm not sure who to do honestly, because there's a lot you can do. But I don't want to get too far into that now. But like, there's quite a few routes you can go with the villain. It's kind of almost secondary, quite honestly, because the symbiote is the heart of this story, and Peter's emotions and dealing with everything after No Way Home, because he's gonna deal with a lot in this movie. You don't even know the half of it, people. You really don't.
I'm interested to see like because we obviously don't know the exact Spider-Man 4 plans
Yeah.
yet. They're still in early development on that. So I'm very interested to see if in Spider-Man 4 he gets the symbiote right away or if that movie will end on like a cliffhanger of him getting it for the first time.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting. So that's really all I have to say about that. I would love for Kingpin to be in there. I would love a cool story. You know, a cool storyline would be Peter's angry, desperate, yada yada yada, and he gets the symbiote, and it's making him very brutal, very angry, and you know, it would be really cool if like Daredevil, because we all know the relationship that they have in the comics. They're good friends. They care about each other.
Mm-hmm.
Do something there,
Yeah.
where Daredevil helps him kind of pull himself up there and then take on the Kingpin, like you said. It'd be really cool, and it would be a sequel to No Way Home in a way that, in a sense that you know, Daredevil helped Peter out there in No Way Home, and Daredevil could help here, and you know, I think that's just a really cool kind of idea. That's something that the fans want, and I really hope because Sony seems to be listening to on some things. They wanted it like we want to see Spider-Man versus Venom at some point. We're gonna see it at some point, right?
Yeah.
And like I think like something that Spider-Man fans have been asking for a long time, especially now that Marvel got the rights to Daredevil back from Netflix, is like a Spider-Man Daredevil team up.
I mean, I think we're definitely going to get the team up. It's more a matter of if it's going to be in, let's say, a Daredevil show, or if it's going to be in a Spider-Man movie, or maybe both. I mean, I don't know, but either way,
I hope they put that into the contract that Spider-Man can appear in live
Yeah.
action in Disney Plus
I
shows.
think they will, but let's stop there because I don't want to spoil people by accident. Let's go
Yeah.
back. Let's go back into the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Unfortunately,
Yeah, go. You know what I want to do in this review though? Once
Yeah.
we're done talking about the actual movie, I want to talk about the Sony hacks and the plans and like the kind of like a retrospective on the time.
Sure.
Yeah, just I want to get into that at some point, but let's wrap up
Yeah.
the
So
movie.
again, the plot had too many issues. The characters, so many issues, despite a few highlights. And as we noted, there are a few good moments in there, but they're overshadowed by a real dog shit movie overall that's very pretty and has a beautiful score. But that's all the movie has going for it, quite honestly. It's just not good. It's the worst live action movie to date, easily for Spidey.
I will say,
Yeah.
My grade for it is 5.5 out of 10. And
That's probably where I would be too. Maybe 5.5.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically my explanation is like there's a lot of good in there. There's a lot of potential in there.
Well,
But
yeah.
it's almost like
And the movie has a lot of heart. Like
yeah,
for sure.
I love
Like there's a lot of passion in it for sure. Like you can feel it.
a lot of uplifting moments, a lot of great dialogue. I love what they did in that scene where Peter's talking to Aunt May about, like I would never replace you. Like I just need to know for myself. Before they ruined the point of Spider-Man, they did that scene, which is exactly what Spider-Man should always be. And I think there's a lot of great stuff here. Garfield, Stone, Jamie Foxx is always fun. Paul Giamatti is on crack in this movie.
Yes, he is.
Dane DeHaan is on a separate form of crack in this movie. It's not an impossible watch, but it is for me. But
I was gonna say you haven't even gotten through it.
I've gotten through it.
I mean, you did not all in one sitting.
Not all on one sitting. It takes me like I have to watch it like a miniseries where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna mentally reset. I'm gonna do that. I think I watched it in like 3 parts.
Yeah. All right. I think we're on the same page. Final grade for me. I'm gonna give it a 5. You can have your 5.5, and that is where we're at with that movie. But I guess we can go into some of the retrospective stuff, like you were saying. And I just want to say also, they cut out so much, man, and that's crazy to me. Like that's crazy that they cut out as much as they did. I mean, I've seen the deleted scenes already.
Left everything in there.
I know. Like I've seen all of the deleted scenes on the Blu-ray. I've seen the concept art for the scenes that they worked on, but never actually even got like fully developed, I guess, or at least not included on the deleted scenes pack. And there's the whole scene too of like with Peter's dad, where he's alive. Like that's a whole thing that they just.
I remember. Oh, you just reminded me of that.
And I will say, Andrew's acting was great in that scene. His acting was phenomenal.
It's Andrew Garfield. I mean,
but like,
but I do like he goes into it. He is like he I thought that was just Andrew talking to his real dad.
But the fact that this was also a whole other thing that they didn't even include. Like, what the fuck?
And that leads into the next thing.
Oh, no.
Where Amazing Spider-Man 3's original plot was bringing dead people back using his spider blood.
There were heads in jars. Heads in jars.
There was a post-credits scene. I believe it was either for Amazing Spider-Man 2 or it's going to be in Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Or it's got to be for Amazing Spider-Man 2 because that was concept arted and shit. So it was like his head was in a fucking jar in a basement. Like, what's funny? Harry Osborn found a secret Oscorp basement. And we found out via that concept art that there is another Oscorp secret basement below the Oscorp secret basement that Harry does not know about. So, like, I wonder what's below that. What's below that? Is the fucking symbiote below that? I mean, God.
I just can't believe that they thought what they had for that movie was good. Like, imagine, like, having the death of Gwen Stacy the way they did, and then doing it. Like, that's the one that gets me the most, honestly. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, in what world did you think people would like that?
No. I will say.
Oh, no. Don't defend that.
No,
Don't even think.
I'm not defending that. But I do think conceptually the idea of Peter wanting to make things right
Oh,
is
no,
a cool,
that's normal.
like,
But that doesn't mean you should allow it, though.
yeah. But it just depends on, like, I mean,
No, he should not have a way out, dude. He has to cope.
no. I think as a movie, that just like you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But especially characters that in the comics have always stayed dead. Like
That's
Uncle
what I'm
Ben's
saying. Like,
Uncle
that's
Ben's
not.
always stayed dead. Gwen's
Yeah,
always stayed
like
dead.
why don't you just bring back Uncle Ben at this point? If you
Like,
can bring back fucking Gwen.
Whenever they bring back 616 Gwen, she's always like a clone or some shit. It's always a ruse of some sort. Like Gwen
It's
Stacy
dumb.
is not coming back.
Yeah,
So.
that's dumb. But
The
yeah, I
only
don't
way
know.
you can make that work is if you kill them off at the end again. Or I mean, but you don't want to do that.
No, and even that's dumb. Like, there's no point in that. It's pointless. It accomplishes nothing.
No,
Nothing.
I think Amazing Spider-Man 3 should have been him using those lessons, that pain, to make himself stronger. To
Yeah.
make himself, to
I mean,
never forget.
I mean, that's entirely what the end of the movie sets up and shows.
Yeah,
Like why move away from that? I mean, that it would have made no sense.
I think No Way Home is like, we can't speak too much about that, but like I think like that is like the direction that I wanted them to go after Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like,
I mean, No Way Home right now I'd be shocked if it's anything less than my fourth favorite Spidey movie at worst. Like, that's kind of where my head's at, and it could be better. It certainly could be better. I'm just saying,
about
like,
that sounds good. And
like to me, like that's worst case scenario. Like,
yeah, and I'm talking specifically about Andrew. Is like that arc that he will have in No Way Home is what I wanted them to do. Obviously, I didn't know that Tom Holland existed in 2014, but you get what I'm saying. Like, just his arc alone, him having redemption, him, I don't want to go too much into it, but you get what I'm saying. Like, that, what they're doing in No Way Home is what they should have done in Amazing Spider-Man 3. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, no, you are absolutely right. Honestly, I can't disagree with that. And
conceptually,
conceptually, I mean, yes, conceptually. I think conceptually that absolutely is the right thing to do. And I think No Way Home. I just want to speak on this briefly before we wrap this up, just because might as well. We're here, and we'll save other thoughts for another episode because we're gonna have a whole episode dedicated to the new Sony deal as well as everything going on with the movie. So that'll be a thing soon. But I will say, No Way Home, I think, has the potential to be something really special. It'll continue Andrew's arc. It's gonna likely have an arc for Toby, even though I don't know much about that side of it. But overall, dude, yeah, I think it's such a tasteful movie, and a movie that could have been so untasteful. And like that's what encourages me so much. Like, the fact that they consulted Mark Webb, the fact that they consulted Sam Raimi, the fact that there's so much love and heart put into this movie, and the fact that it's not predictable, honestly. Like for what people would have probably guessed this movie was going to be months ago, it's really not predictable, both structurally and conceptually. Like, it's like, if you asked me 2 months ago if I knew the plot of this movie, I would have told you, yeah, I know every detail. I know exactly how this is gonna go. I know X, Y, and Z. I didn't know shit. Like, I knew some parts of it, yeah, but the structure of this movie is not what I thought it was.
You know a lot, but you don't know.
Yeah, like I don't know. Exactly. Like, I don't know where all these pieces fit, and I also didn't know how much was left to be revealed.
You know the bullet points, but you don't know the bullet points in the order that the bullet points happen, and you don't know the context of the bullet points.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And the context of the bullet points is what makes a movie great or not great.
You're right.
And so now that we are getting more versed into the context of things, we are very happy with what they did.
So yeah, I mean that's how I feel, and I'm excited to talk about it more very soon. But truthfully, I am just tired right now, and I'm ready to call this review, man. Talking about the Amazing Spider-Man 2 has made me even more tired, as you can imagine.
Yeah. This is a movie that existed.
Yes.
This is a movie that gave us Tom Holland Spider-Man in the MCU. Uh,
Yeah.
I, you know, I appreciate what Andrew brought to the character. I appreciate this franchise in a way. I, not because it gave us the MCU, but for what it tried to do, for certain things that it did, for the castings and all that.
Hmm.
It had a tough act to follow after the Raimi trilogy, and
Yeah, yeah.
and obviously studio stuff kind of screwed it from its full potential. But and the lastly, I just want to touch on like the Sony hacks. I think like the way Andrew
Uh,
that whole thing ended really sucked. I think it's great to see going back to what we're talking about with No Way Home is like it's good to see that those relationships get mended. Not
yeah.
not like between like Amy Pascal and Andrew
Yes,
and all that. It's
yes.
great to see
I will
that.
say, of all the people at Sony, Amy Pascal doesn't seem to be the worst of it at all. Like, there's a lot of worse people there, in my
I
opinion. There's worse. There are worse people. There are worse
Yeah, I
people.
will say there are
Like
most
like
like
like there's a
people
lot of worse people. I can tell you from reading.
in a town
Like
full of shitty people. There, she's kind of in the she's in like the mid tier.
I will say the story of her throwing
Sandwich.
the sandwich at Kevin Feige is pretty funny. Not gonna lie,
Yeah,
that is pretty funny. But
yeah. He goes in there. He's like, "Let's partner."
it's just like, excuse me.
Yeah, because like there's a lot of egos involved in Hollywood if you didn't know,
Yeah.
and so when you basically ask your competitor, "Let's team up," because you clearly can't handle this on your
No,
own.
that's exactly what they don't want. But
It's yeah, it didn't, but it worked out because they're friends, Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige. So good job,
yeah.
Kevin. So
All right. Well, I guess that is where we can call it. Correct.
well, I want to say one last thing.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
I fell down a rabbit
Last
hole.
thought.
I fell down a rabbit hole like a week ago, hearing the plans for Sinister Six,
Yeah.
the Amazing Spider-Man
Yeah.
Sinister Six movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Just
Yeah.
it was gonna exist. They didn't know what the roster would be. They didn't
Uh-huh.
know like that thing. They didn't have anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tom Hardy was gonna play Sandman though, but that would have been cool. That would have been cool.
That actually would have been god
Yeah,
tier
they were
casting.
gonna try to get Matt Damon to play Doc Ock too, which could have been cool.
Yeah, those would have been some interesting castings, but
Yeah.
whatever.
All right, we're good. I think we're good
Yeah,
now.
this has been a pleasure as always, Tom. Well, half a pleasure. I hate Amazing Spider-Man 2, but you know what I mean. Anyway.
I'm the half, right?
Yeah. We are pleased to be doing these. We have a lot more videos coming, and I'm looking forward to the future of this channel as well as No Way Home in just a few weeks. But until next time, this has been another episode of Cape Time. See you, everybody.
Bye bye.